Megan Bennett, and today we are joined by World War II Air Force veteran, Mr. Fred Crane. Thank you for being with us today, Mr. Crane.
Thank you.
You were an aircraft mechanic in Hawaii on December 7th, 1941. Could you tell us what you remember about that day?
Oh, yes. I was preparing to go to 8 o'clock Mass that morning, and I had planned to go into town at the Honolulu afterwards, so I had civilian clothes on. And I had a few minutes, so I was up there. At that time I had hair, and I was combing my hair, and I heard this noise of planes diving, down like that, you know. And then, boom, I heard the explosion. So I looked towards Pearl Harbor, and that's when it happened. And all of a sudden, when that airplane had pulled out of the dive, he came right across our barracks, and I recognized the old red disc on the wings, and I knew it was the Japanese were being attacked by the Japs. So I had already had eaten breakfast, but a lot of fellows didn't even eat, but they were still in bed. So I woke up those. I said, "We're under attack," and I ran out of the barracks, went down first, and then I realized that I had civilian clothes on, and I knew where I was supposed to go. I ran back in. I changed clothes, threw on my coveralls, which was an airplane mechanic's uniform, utility type thing, and grabbed the helmet, my gas mask. We didn't have our weapons in our lockers at all, but they were down in the hangar, so we had to break in and to get our weapons in the hangar, which I managed to get a .45 caliber pistol, and also a Springfield 03. We had a 03 .30 caliber rifle at that time, and I had the gas mask with me and the helmet. But my main thing is to get down to my airplane, because I was an assistant crew chief on that plane, and it was a B-18 type aircraft. It was a twin-engine bomber, Douglas. And of course, we were transitioning into B-17s. We had a couple of B-17, the C and D models, which didn't have the tail turret or the belly turret like they had on the C and the E and the F models. But we were expecting a new type aircraft that morning. In fact, we were expecting 12 B-17s to come in that morning. I will tell you that when the warning was given by George Elliott and Joe Al Lockhart, they were at Opana Army radar station, and they picked up the blips that there were some aircraft coming in. And they notified Fort Shafter and told Fort Shafter that we're picking up some blips, that we're some airplanes. Well, the lieutenant who answered the phone said that don't disregard, because we were expecting 12 B-17s. If they had just mentioned that we had been picking up numerous blips, just the one word of numerous blips, instead of saying, "I'm picking up blips," you say, on radar, that probably would have helped, because it would have given us a chance to get our planes dispersed. As it was, our airplanes were lined up wingtip to wingtip. So when I told you, when I went to the hangar and immediately went to the airplane, we had to go ahead and start towing them out of the way, because at that time we were being hit simultaneously also. And some of our planes were on fire, so we were moving aircraft away from the airplanes that were on fire and starting to fight in the fire as much as we possibly can. And that then when those 17s came in, I just so happened I had to go and get one dispersed out there. And when I got them, the crew said, "Well," they said, "this is a heck of a reception." I said, "Well, it's the real thing," where it says we're under attack by Japan. And I told them to take off, and when they had done that, of course, there was no place to go. We were out in a wide open field. You didn't have a foxhole there to go, anything like that. The strafing became, and besides the bombers hitting, and the fighter planes came in, and they were coming in at treetop level and strafing. And I had one that was coming right at me, because he was going to start hit that B-17 when I was right there, right out in the open. I hit the deck, and I could see the bullets coming down, and I I said to myself, Lord have mercy on me, Lord have mercy on me. And how in the world to this very day, I don't know how that he missed me like that. Same thing at the canal, when I was down there at Guadalcanal and the Solomons later on, when we were bombed at Henderson Field. The bombs in a train, boom, boom, boom. You know, just hit like that and went behind. So that's two of the closest calls that I believe I ever had at that time. It was truly a mess. I mean, people, I'm telling you, everybody just pitched in. I don't care if they were officers or enlisted men, everybody were they just real close and getting the job done. Wives came out to the field and people from the town. Firemen came from Honolulu to help fight the fires of our hangars and the airplanes. And of course, I didn't get to eat anything until later in the day. But then that's when I said that the women came out and they had made sandwiches, and we did manage to go get something to eat like that. But later in the day, but it was quite a commotion. Pearl Harbor and Hickam Field just separated by a fence. I can hear the ships when the whistles when they go out of the. That's how close we were. I mean,